just like to be the center of attention, and it's true, so I always want to run away. When I came here, I wanted to go in any direction. But I think really, then when we talked a little further, we said, well, partly it's because we feel like so few are paying attention, you know. So I do want to thank those of you that have come close to pay attention in these ways, you know, to pay attention to my two spirit sisters that came before me here. I think what I want to say is, you know, I read the little title that says to put the march back in the march. And I guess what I'm wondering about is what we're marching for. And I have a couple of ideas about that. And I think ultimately, what I want to say from my perspective, I turned 60 this year. Woo! I'm glad you're all happy about it. Is that I really do feel like everything that we are seeing today, every name that we call ourselves,
so you know I have to give the speech first and then you're going to...
Every way that we've walked in this world as queer people has always been here. It has never not been here. There have never not been butch, femme, trans, intersex, all of it. They have never not been here. When I was a young woman and had the good fortune of spending some time in New York, and we spent time in the bars in Harlem, we were the ones, like Audrey Lorde said, we were the ones who were kind of kai-kai because we were sort of not fixing ourselves exactly strongly enough on butch or femme, and I thought I was such a badass butch. And when I got there, I realized that I wasn't holding up, you know. But I think what I want to say about that is that partly the perspective of generations is that we know that nothing is new. But what is new, and what I do want to thank, two things are new. And both of them, I think, are really important for us to think about. One thing that is new is really the visibility and the mobility of the trans and intersex movement. It's really, really important what's going on. The one thing I want to say about that is that I thank all of those that have been engaged in this for making us, on some level, understanding something that we knew anyway, which was desire, sexuality, and gender occur in a continuum. They never line up. Some of the queerest women I know are about 70-year-old Chicanas and women of color. Some are not necessarily even gay, lesbian, trans. They are queer by virtue of their visibility, by their struggle, by their insistence on being consciente as women of color in all of those capacities, including their sexuality. So what I want us to understand on a certain level is that to be queer in this world means on some level that we absolutely are always being conscious, always being consciente of when they want to neutralize us, when the general society wants to have us conform. So what I want from the trans movement, from, you know, wherever you call yourself, you know, I always feel like I'm not staying abreast of it, you know, but as dykes here, and however you identify yourself with that word dyke, you know, what I want us to do is stay queer. And by queer, it means that regardless of how you line up along that, it means that you have a critical consciousness that does not stop only with gender and does not stop with sexuality, and also is never prescriptive. Never prescriptive. Always allows people to change, and I can tell you, being the age that I am now, that my development and consciousness as a Chicana, lesbian, you know, little machita, butch, lost person has grown and grown and grown and grown. And that's what I hope for all of us. I recently had this experience of going to see Dilo at her, I'm still in that, right. Dilo at his solo show that he did. And one thing, if any of you had the chance to see it, one thing that I really, really realized is that his capacity to say the things that he does. It was an incredibly strong show. And what he said is, I turned to my partner and I said, Celia, man, He could say that now, things that I lived, even as a little tiny girl, because there was a movement that preceded it. So on a certain level, what I want us to do is to come together as generations. This is what I'm worried about, that we are broken in generations. And I would like us to return. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want you to remember to put that mark when you're marching to march. Really march for values that you think queer life needs. Huh? And go ahead and also celebrate, but also remember que estamos aquí para luchar. Siempre hay mucho que hacer como gente luchadores, ¿no? Ok, gracias.